Hey guys, Rachele here with Amethyst Ascension, and today is day 16 of the 78 Days of Tarot, and we will be discussing the Devil, which is number 15 of the Major Arcana and breaks down to the number 6 in Numerology. Other cards associated with that would be the Lovers, as well as all of the 6 in the 4 suits. The energy that the number 6 possesses happens to be the most harmonious energetic frequency of all the cardinal numbers, or single-digit numbers, 1 through 9. The vibration of the number 6 is one of more feminine biased nature. That is an intermix of traits that are of opposite polarity. For example, the number 6 holds an energy of both idealism with stability, a higher inner wisdom with a down-to-earth practicality. These mental and physical elements combined end up being the perfect recipe for a peaceful and harmonious existential energy. Number 6 is the most nurturing of the single-digit numbers. It emanates unconditional love, compassion, and an instinct of protection and caretaking. Think of the most maternal or motherly energy that you can ever experience. That is the energy of the number 6 to the core. Now add in a very grounded common sense that also contains such supreme wisdom, one that can not only solve problems logically, but also do so in a very fair way. It carries a frequency of analytical skill of the mother alongside the domestic and familiar connection that relates to spouses, children, and domestic life at home. The zodiac relationships to the number 6. Virgo is the 6th sign of the astrological zodiac, which is symbolized by the Virgin. Ruled by the planet of communication, Mercury, Virgo is also an earth sign. Earth signs always reflect the utmost example of a practical and grounded energy. The earth sign Virgo, however, sprinkles in some other qualities that make it one of the most unique astrological signs of the zodiac. Virgo energy embodies each of the individual definitions of innocence, analysis, and perfectionism. The vibration surrounding Virgo is one of hard work, criticism, and attention to detail that eventually, but not surprisingly, manifests in the physical realm. The zodiac sign is the purest reflection of communication, but this energy is also one that this zodiac sign is the purest reflection of, but this energy is also one that contemplates deeply, thinking before speaking, and absolutely considers all angles before taking action. You might find a Virgo child organizing their blocks perfectly by color, as opposed to creating a tower to knock down. They enjoy everything being in their correct place. A very intuitive sign. They're constantly in their head deciphering information, but one of their strongest talents lies in the ability to discern information based on morals. Injustice is never tolerated, and anything that concerns the improvement of the collective is where priority always remain. My moon sign is actually Virgo. A little tidbit for you. The number 6 expresses an energy of nurturing and balanced stability. The expression of the number 6 is the most balanced of all single-digit cardinal numbers and gives off an energy of higher love combined with earthy practicality. Even though its shape goes in opposite direction, it is stable. Number 6 reminds us that we are always manifesting here in the physical realm, so we must keep our thoughts and actions ones of unconditional love. This will always lead us on the best path along our journey towards spiritual growth. So I got that information off of WeMystic.com, and I'm going to read a little bit now out of Kitchen Table Tarot by Melissa Sinova on the Devil card. Now keep in mind, the Astrological Association that I just did was for the number 6, not the Devil, not the actual Devil card, just the numerology associated with the Devil card, which breaks down to 6. So now, it says, There are a few tarot cards that will freak people out if they're new to tarot. The Tower and Death means change. The 3 and the 10 of Swords, the Moon, and some others are a bit foreboding. The Devil card freaks everyone out. Everyone. I've been doing this for over 20 years and it still gives me the Wiggins. It's unnerving and I'm not sure what the artist could have done to make this more freaky. Have the devil kicking a puppy or something? Maybe. The thing is, this card isn't about the Christian construct of the devil, at least not in the traditional sense. The devil was based on Pan, who was quite the licentious god. Booze, freedom, and lots of sex. Pagans loved this stuff. Christians, not so much. So our fun-loving Pan got a new name and a new role. And a scowl, and apparently chicken feet, and bat wings, and he seems to be holding a huge spliff. Sorry. I don't know any adults who are scared of this guy. I could poll around 100 of my friends and say, okay, you behave like a bastard. If this guy's going to come and get you, I'd bet that they'd all say no. So what is this about? Do you see how the people are chained to his throne? Those are people. Oh, those are pretty thick chains and look fairly sturdy. Look at their necks. They could slip those off at any time. But they're choosing not to. That's what this is about. Who could create a better hell for us than ourselves? Who knows our weaknesses? Who knows how to make us feel low and dirty and worthless? Who is ready to exploit these vulnerabilities and hurt us at a moment's notice? Yep, ourselves. We don't always chain ourselves up without help. Peer pressure, poor guidance from parents. Whatever your path is, at some point you have a choice to make. Do I wear this chain or not? Do I drink to excess? Do I treat this person like crap? Do I hurt someone just because I can? Do I steal? Do I judge? Should I take this action or make this choice just because I can and then run over whoever might get in the way? These choices are ours to make, and I have the feeling the older that we get, the heavier the chains get and the harder it is to take them off. So while the picture freaks me out, the card and its meaning just makes me sad. This is not the scary oogie boogie devil of mythology, but is almost scarier than that. This card is about chaining yourself to those things that pull you down. We turn ourselves inside and out and pick and pick and pick until our insides are a bloody mess. I wonder why we allow that. When does it become okay to verbally and emotionally abuse ourselves? In what context and in what fashion does saying horrible things to ourselves become permissible and even expected? I think it comes down to two things: fear and doubt. Fear that we're not as good as everyone else, and the doubt that allows that fear to trickle in. If we are confident and strong, what someone else says about us bounces away. Beautiful. Now I am going to read out of the Holistic Tarot by Benna Bellwen. And so the devil is associated with the planet of Saturn, which rules Capricorn, or is the planet of Capricorn, which is also an earth sign, which just happens to be my sign. Lucky, lucky me. So it says the lovers from Key 6 are chained by a horned beast with bat wings, the torso of a man and the legs of an animal. The lovers are shown with horns and tail. The beast carries a torch, which he points to the ground. It appears to be lighting the primordial man's tail on fire. Etched into the beast's right hand is the cross. An inverted white pentacle is at his crown. Everything behind the beast and lovers is black. Human nature prevails over spirituality. Conditions surrounding seeker may cause limitations on capability, achievement, and personal growth. The Devil card is about bondage to the material and superficial. preference for instant gratification over delayed gratification, and as a result, the seeker is being bound to a less than ideal present physical condition. The card can indicate incarceration, hopelessness, or pessimism. It represents the temptation to choose the material over the spiritual. The seeker's soul is in effect chained down by his or her strong materialistic desires. The devil can also suggest addiction. It often appears in readings for alcoholics or those plagued by consumer debt. The theme of the devil is the worship of false idols. Thus, one reading of the card suggests that the seeker is being subjected to evil influences or the temptation to not be the most dignified version of himself or herself. The seeker must overcome this. The card is a warning that there are negative influences preventing the seeker from attaining his or her goals. The seeker must break free of the bondage. If the seeker is currently in a relationship, it could be an unhealthy one that is chaining him or her down. The card could also indicate perversity. The card suggests there are undesirable forces at play. The seeker must work even harder at overcoming his or her inner demons. Note, however, that the devil card does not necessarily mean that the seeker is entirely to blame. The devil card tells of much greater karmic forces influencing the decisions and actions of the seeker. While the seeker is not entirely innocent and contributed adversely to the situation, the greater culpability rests elsewhere. The Lovers in reverse is about the temptation to choose what is unethical over what is ethical, to veer from the seeker's own sense of right and wrong. The Devil is about the temptation to indulge in that which is superficial or materialistic, to give into addictions and seduction, to stimulate the physical senses and pleasures rather than pursue knowledge, understanding, or love. Key 6 is about one choice. Key 15, Key 6 is the Lovers, and Key 15 is the Devil. Is about being led astray. Key 15 is also related to antagonism and dogma, despotism, and enslavement. Recall that in the Lover's card, the tree of life and ascension towards God are symbolized by the burning tree with the 12 glowing flames behind the male figure. Here in the Devil, the flame imagery repeats itself with the beast causing the male figure's tail to catch fire. The female figure's tail bears fruit. The fruit on her tail is a reminder of why the pair of lovers are now here chained to the beast. If the lovers present a choice between virtue and desire, the devil presents the aftermath of having abandoned virtue and indulged in desire. The devil also indicates a seeker who views his or her world with extreme negativity, distrust, and faithlessness. The star reversed also suggests pessimism, but in the star reversed, that pessimism is a projected outlook towards the matter at hand, while here in Key 15, the devil, the seeker's pessimism is towards divinity and the prospect of ascension. The star reversed is about believing that the seeker won't experience a positive outcome, while the devil is about believing that no positive outcome can possibly come from such a world. There is a streak of hatred and resentment in the negativity expressed in the devil, while the negativity in the star reversed is simply a frame of reference. The devil card may call to mind Mara in Buddhism, the concept of demons tempting the Buddha away from achieving enlightenment. Mara embodies sin, unwholesome impulses, desires, and temptations away from a virtuous or spiritual life. Mara, through the devil, also personifies the thirst for existence, the thirst for pleasure, the thirst for power and sensual delights. The devil is not a literal beast or demon. The devil personifies human selfishness and indulging in that selfishness. When the devil card appears in a reading, it indicates the temptations and vice that manifest as obstacles obstructing the attainment of our higher goals. The element of earth governs this card. Attributions associated with earth will represent the external forces at play in the seeker's situation. It might also be significant to note that as the Buddha resisted the temptation of the Mara, the Buddha reached down his right hand to touch the earth and asked the earth to bear witness to the Buddha's defeat of the Mara, the defeat of his own inner demons. Here in the Devil card, yin energy is dominant. The Devil could also relate to the sign Capricorn and, timing-wise, denote the period December 22nd through January 19th. The imagery of the card is speculated to have been inspired by Baphomet, a horned idol purportedly worshipped by the Knights Templar, leading to their persecution during the Inquisition. All right, so there you have that. And, which Bennett Bellwin touches on so much in her book, and she's already touched on the fact that it's Capricorn. Its association is Capricorn. Oh, goodness. So, I am reading now out of the Tarot and Astrology. And it says that the devil knows how to make the most of first impressions. I'm sorry, that's by Corinne Kenner. And he knows how to intimidate his opposition. But if anyone could beat the devil at a game of cards, it would be a Capricorn. That's because, hey, I like that. That's because the stereotypical Capricorn businessman and the devil share an important trait. Both understand all too well the trials and temptations of the material world. Capricorn is the sign of business, career, worldly success, and social standing. It's the sign of tangible property, material resources, and physical existence. People who are born when the sun is in Capricorn are usually hard workers, high achievers, and responsible partners, both at work and at home. The Dark Lord of the Devil card, however, offers a secret glimpse at every person's dark side. He's obviously connected to sin and temptation, as well as the pitfalls of human existence like lust, gluttony, greed, sloth, wrath, envy, and pride. He knows that wealth and material success can liberate us or enslave us. Most Capricorns are keenly aware of their social status. Like their symbol, the sure-footed mountain goat, they are constantly climbing and constantly seeking greener pastures. Not true in my situation, but anyways. They are ambitious, driven, disciplined, and industrious, which, yeah, I'll give you that. They are prudent, patient, stable, and enduring, and they're willing to give the devil his due. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, the planet of boundaries and limitations. In tarot, Saturn is assigned to the World card. The combination is effective. The devil is an earthly creature, firmly rooted in the material world and closely associated with both the pleasures and pain of physical existence. People with a strong Capricorn influence usually feel driven to prove themselves in business and society. In this case, however, the devil demonstrates that an obsession with outward appearance can imprison the spirit in the material world. The devil is a Christian invention, but many of his characteristics happen to be derived from Pan, the mythical god of music, nature, sheep, and shepherds. Pan's head and torso looked human, but from the waist down, he was a goat with fur-covered legs and animal hooves. Pan was a god of physical pleasures, including sexuality, food, and drink. He was a close associate of Dionysus, the god of wine. As a result, the devil card occasionally symbolizes alcohol and drug abuse. Pan was wild. He could even inspire panic. Because of his association with Pan, the devil has come to symbolize erotic pleasures, wild behavior, and unbridled desire. Some astrologers depict Capricorn as a hybrid creature, half goat and half fish. The imagery dates back to myths about Pan, who jumped into the Nile to escape the monster Typhon. Submerged from the waist down, his legs turned into a fishtail while his upper body maintained its goat-like form. The Capricorn glyph looks like the profile of a goat fish. The devil card can also be connected to Cernunnos, the horned nature and fertility god of the Celts, and Baphomet, the imaginary creature that's sometimes depicted as a goat's head superimposed on an inverted pyramid. Occasionally, the devil card relates to Pluto or Hades, the lord of the underworld and the king of the dead. Capricorn is the 10th sign of the zodiac. It rules the 10th house of career and social status, both of which often come at great expense. No one understands that cost better than a Capricorn, who will pay almost any price for the privilege that power can bring. Capricorn is ruled in turn by Saturn, the ringed planet of boundaries and limitations. In tarot, Saturn corresponds to the World card. Not surprisingly, Capricorn is an earth sign. In both astrology and tarot, the element of earth symbolizes stability and practicality. It's a sign of tangible property, material resources, and physical existence. The sun is in Capricorn between December 21st and January 20th. The sign marks the beginning of winter. It is a cardinal sign of leadership and initiation, which introduces a season of change and new beginnings. Capricorn is associated with the knees, shins, and ankles, 3 components that are critical to anyone who needs to climb mountains and reach the pinnacle of career and social success. So let me just say, just for my own sake, because I hate that I am associated with the devil because I'm a Capricorn, and because, you know, Saturn and all that, I don't believe, I mean, obviously we have rising signs, we have moon signs, there's other aspects in your astrological chart. So, and depending on whether or not you're born on a cusp. And some things that I have read say that I'm born on a cusp between Capricorn and Aquarius. Other ones say I'm not. But regardless, there's just other aspects. So any other Capricorns that are watching this, I don't want you to think that I think that you're the devil and that, you know, I think Capricorns rock, honestly. But I do think that the devil, in my own opinion, signifies being chained by your own desires or addictions or maybe intentions, okay? Or somebody else's intentions. But just like I've said with every other card in this series, there is a lot, when this card comes up, there is a lot that contributes to that. Whether or not you read in reverse, if it comes up in reverse, which I don't, whether or not where it falls in a spread, what your question is, what your surrounding cards are. So keep that in mind. But yeah, you know, the expression, I mean, for me, when it comes up, I know that it has to do with the problems that I've had with my weight and with my addiction to food, and which, I mean, as of this morning, I'm down 71 pounds, which is awesome. I've got a ton more to go, but, you know, I'm not letting that devil rule me anymore. I've had enough, and, you know, I'm taking control. I took those chains off. But, you know, maybe there's lessons to be learned. Maybe it's a time for a little bit of introspection, or, depending on where it falls, a little bit of, you know, looking around at the people that are in your life and, you know, do they have good intentions for you? So, but it also means transformation. Oh, no, I'm sorry, that's death. Death means transformation. Okay, so now that I've given you all that, this is the card from the Universal Rider-Waite. Here is the devil from the, look at the temptation, money, food, yeah. From the Everyday Witch. This is from the Angel Tarot. Yeah, the ego. A false sense of entrapment. Being overly focused on material things. Negative or fear-based thoughts. That's another thing. You know, somebody, if it comes up, you know, feeling anxiety all the time, or being so stressed about materials and maybe your status and all that. And for me, nah. I definitely don't let those things define me. It's nice, don't get me wrong. It's nice to have material things. But if you can't, then you can't. And it does not define who you are. I'm sorry, let me bring it closer. This is from the Shadowscapes. In my book, everybody's equal. I don't care if you're the Queen of England or the President of the United States or somebody that's on the street who needs help. We are all the same. I'm sorry, that was from the Good Tarot, and this is the Psychic Tarot. Temptation. Are you being tempted? You notice in this card that although this mermaid is in a cage, the lock is not locked. She could easily get out of that cage if she chose to. You know, it could be somebody that is addicted to drugs, or somebody that is smoking cigarettes, is trying to break smoking. That could be your devil. Being tempted to do something that you know you shouldn't do, that's not good for you or good for somebody else. That could be your devil. I'm sorry, my goodness, I get so sidetracked. This is from, this one's from the Mermaid Tarot, right? This one's from the Journey to the Hidden Realm. This one's from Cyril Marchetti's Gilded Tarot. And we're going to end on this one. And this is from the Druidcraft Tarot. So there you have it, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this look into the devil card. Hopefully you're not intimidated, because you know what? Most people, when it comes up, they already know what chains them, so to speak. They already know what their addictions are, or they know whether it's another person that they're maybe obsessed with, or they're in a relationship that they just can't seem to get out of, and that person is not good for them. I mean, it could be a lover. It could be a friend. You know, it could mean a whole lot of things. So, there you have it, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this. If so, give me a like, hit that subscribe button, and hit the little notification bell if you would like to receive future notifications of upcoming videos. And wishing you guys always love and light. Thank you so much.